Hello, everybody, and welcome to WASD20 Live. My friends, how you doing tonight?
Great.
Fantastic.
Doing awesome.
Ready for some D&D?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
But of course. All right, well, good. Well, it's great to see everybody here. Thanks for all of y'all joining us in the chat. Hold on, I just see that Clay's webcam I gotta fix here because I messed up the thing. There we go. Get off of the Frost Maiden, Ryan. Come on. Cool. Well, Icewind Dale Rhymer Reason in full and total effect tonight as we are traveling across the icy landscape. Huge thanks to our sponsor this evening, Hero Forge, and all that they provide for the gaming community. Check them out, folks. HeroForge.com. Go design your own custom miniatures. I was just rekindling my love of Hero Forge with my sons today, actually. They were kind of bored, and I was like, well, we haven't done Hero Forge in a while. Let's boot this thing up. And yeah, endless entertainment. Lots of new options, of course, every time we log in. Just so much to play with. Did you guys know that you can make little, not only your own custom miniatures, but also you can make those miniatures with bases that fit on your DM screen? You can make little hooks. You can have your own Hero Forge Christmas ornaments if that's your thing. There is so much you can do. So, what's that?
Keychains.
Keychains. There you go. And they have a new service where you can actually subscribe to get free, or you pay to get a certain number of STLs every month, and you can actually 3D print them on your own. Something I've been meaning to sign up for. I haven't gotten around to it, but it sounds pretty amazing. Anyway, thanks to Hero Forge, we're going to get going here. The recap, I thought it might be nice to try something a little different here. If any of you players are willing, I'm not going to require you to, but if anyone wants to try to give a little recap of where we are here, I will award you a point of inspiration. And if not, that's no big deal.
I'll try.
All right. Alex, take it away.
You want a rundown of just my character or all of us?
Mostly like the last session-ish, and maybe a tad bit more, but yeah.
Okay, in the last session, our party had traveled to Caer Konig to check in on the tavern inn that we have a stake in, the Northern Light, and also checking on other people in that town as well. And there was a game we played where
Piss.
Yeah, what was it? What was it actually called?
It was called Dwarven Roulette.
Dwarven Roulette, and my character Grekvar eventually got hit pretty hard. Did in fact drink some piss swill, and let's see, Nikos kind of got up to snuff on the business end of things at the tavern. He also has been talking to Vigo and trying to convince Vigo to deliver to him any bodies so they don't go to waste, so he can get some sweet brains out of them.
And possibly infuse brains into other dishes for the town.
Oh, that's right. Or just human remains, I think, if I remember correctly.
Padding us out while we have a food shortage.
Right. Yeah, good. That's a good
being
point.
Thrifty.
Man, you got some of that sausage from Caer Konig? Oh, yeah, it's good.
Let's see. Grekvar did a little dancing. I remember. I think Fizwick did Fizwick do any of the knife game, or is that from a previous?
No, we didn't play knifey stab game.
He definitely wanted to, and then Clay wandered off at one point mysteriously. I remember. And then we settled our affairs there, and I believe we are heading over to Bryn Shander. Mm-hmm. And then maybe catch up with some people there, but then also I think are going to make contact with
Vellynne.
Vellynne,
yeah.
the wizard.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, very good.
Impressed.
Take a point of inspiration there, Alex. I'm especially impressed that you remembered which Caer. Caer Konig. You got it. I get those mixed up too. Why? Come on, wizards. Why do you do it? All right. Actually, I think there are only two Caers, right? Caer Konig and Caer Dinaval. Anyway, Caer is like a castle. So anyway, I guess they have an excuse.
Yeah.
But yes, and you guys are headed to Bryn Shander now to meet with Vellynne. And the goal being to kind of set out to the Sea of Moving Ice to discover, to recover an artifact of power that she believes will be helpful in unlocking the entrance to the lost city of, I believe it's Ythrin, which is an ancient city by a very powerful magic society that was buried, that used to float and sunk and is now somewhere underground in Icewind Dale below the Ragged Glacier. So, we'll see how that goes. But first to meet with Vellynne. So, you all do head off to... before we get... one thing I forgot to mention, make sure you check out Dead Aussie Gamer and Darksea Workshop in the video description. And I also just wanted to give a quick shout out to this guy. Check out these cool character portraits. I don't know if you guys saw it, but this guy did character portraits. I put a link in the chat for all of our characters. First he did Fizwick, and then he started he did the others too. And AJ Retro Game.
Awesome.
Retro Games, good work. They're awesome portraits, and go check them out via that Instagram link. Okay, yeah, I didn't want to forget to give him a shout out. And if you ever do like character art or anything, like, dude, send that. Make sure you show that to us because we want to see it. That's awesome. Any fan art is welcome, or other cool things. Always open to cool things. You guys are headed to Bryn Shander. I'm gonna pull up the map here. So this is pretty, well, yeah, let's get the other map, actually, while we're in the towns here. So you guys are in Caer Konig now. Now, the question is, which way would you like to head? You could head across the Dwarven Valley to Tourmaline, or you could also just take the road down to the east way to Bryn Shander. So what are you guys thinking there? Or you could cut across through the... diagonally, which probably wouldn't be super efficient.
So this might be super convenient, but wasn't the name of that person that you were asking about before we went live, Allie?
It may have been. No. Allie was one of the sisters that owned the Northern Light. Allie and Corey. We were trying to remember before the stream the name of the NPC that they met in session 2 or 3, who kind of like, what's that?
Nope. Anasia is the gnomish priestess of the shrine.
Yeah, she was one who you guys met in the Northlook Tavern. So if anyone knows, feel free to chime in. It's a long shot. I could go watch the video later. But yeah, NPC you met in the Northlook Tavern, older retired adventurer, blonde hair, blondish gray hair.
Blue eyes, like long walks on the beach.
Sounds like a Craigslist. I saw you at the cafe.
Exactly.
Misconnections.
Yeah, there it is. There it was.
Alex knows.
Oh, trust me, I know. I've posted a couple of those of my own.
Oh man.
I think those are. I think those are like 80% time are just fake. They're too good to be. It's like the classic. You farted in the produce aisle or whatever. It's like that didn't happen. Never happened.
The way you caressed the peaches.
Yeah.
I should have asked for your name.
Yes.
Okay. So, what are you guys thinking in terms of the route here?
I'd say we just take the road. I think it'd be efficient enough.
Yep. Seems like the most sensical way. Is sensical a word?
Sensical?
Sensible.
Yeah. Sensible. I was thinking the opposite of nonsensical. Sensible. There you go. Thank you.
Here at Icewind Dale, it's sensical. It's like an icicle.
Exactly. Nailed it.
Pros and senses.
So, you guys head south down the road toward the Eastway, and this time, your travel passes pretty much uneventfully as far as the junction here, and as you pass, you remember the remains of the knolls just over one of the hills, and perhaps you wonder if the snow has covered it up yet, or the wild animals have gotten to them yet. And the other route from Eastway to Bryn Shander also passes uneventfully as you approach the great walled town of Bryn Shander, the largest of the 10 towns. Along the way, you do notice, the road seems to be more heavily worn than usual. You can see actually some of the ground, worn down to the dirt, which is rare here in Icewind Dale, that anything will penetrate the snowpack on the road. But it definitely seems to be well traveled, possibly because of all the refugees that fled from East Haven after the attack of the Charlatan dragon and the destruction there. As you pass through the gates, you guys go through the East Gate. The guards give you a nod. They're, seeming not applying much scrutiny as you pass through the gates. Seem to be tired, worn ragged from the flow of refugees coming into Bryn Shander. Vellynne had, her plan was to meet you at the North Look, which is an inn and tavern that you have frequented in the past. Is there anything else, however, you would like to do as you enter? And it is, by the way, let's just see what time it is. It is probably quite late because it's a long journey. So let's see if we go from Bryn Shander to, yeah, it's about a 12-hour journey. So it is getting quite late. What would you guys like to do?
I have some business to attend to, but that can wait till tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I think I might try and just stay in the back shed behind the forge, as I often do when I'm in town.
Mm-hmm.
And I extend that offer to anybody else who wants to come with me.
Fizwick follows.
I follow Gruckbar.
So just to clarify my own backstory here, Bryn Shander, was this where we were looking into information regarding the, let's see, I have their name here, no, I didn't write their name. They're a group that was that the Red Wizards were working for. Yeah, the Arcane Brotherhood, that's the one, yes.
No, that was East Haven. Bryn Shander you guys haven't been to probably since like session 4 or 5, after the Dwarven, you recovered the ingots, remember, from the goblins who had stolen the sled. And I think so. It's been quite a while, if I'm remembering correctly, that since you've been here. This was the place where Nikos had, at some point, you had a flat here, actually, and Gruckvar had this is where Gruckvar is from, also in terms of the Shrine of Ula, the temple, and with the forge attached, as he noted, and then I think the Northlook Tavern was the only other place that you guys went here. Oh no, there was another tavern as well where we first played knifey stab game.
Stabby, 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 stabby.
Yeah.
There you go.
In which case, yeah, I'll probably take it nice and easy and prepare for the journey ahead. I'm going to maybe see if I can find if there is anyone with expertise in surviving like long ocean voyages, and see if I can get some advice on what I should be bringing, what I could be carrying on a journey out to sea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nate,
Go ahead.
just a point of confirmation. Is Vellynne a member of the Arcane Brotherhood, or is that like a competing order? I don't
She
remember.
is. Yeah, she is a member of the Arcane Brotherhood. The Arcane Brotherhood, she doesn't seem to have. She's been pretty forthright about her purposes. I think you've gotten the impression that Vellynne is not she's not benevolent. She's not, doing things necessarily just for the good of the town. She seems very interested in the city of Yithrin, possibly for, power. But she also has been hopeful. She has been she mentioned that this is a way that perhaps there could even be something that could end the everlasting winter. But Elias did seem to have concerns, and the Owlbear Society did have concerns about the Arcane Brotherhood.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. So, as you guys head out, the first three of you are going to the temple, the shrine of Ula, and you are greeted there by Anasia very warmly. She welcomes you in. It seems that she and her acolyte, who runs the forge, Jerem, are both, have not gone to bed yet, and they both welcome you. Even Jerem seems a little bit more friendly than usual, probably because absence makes the heart grow fonder. And it has been a while. Now, Grukvar, question for you. You had left your calling card, so to speak, in the form of these little medallions. I wonder if I still have that picture. I probably took it off my slides like a dummy.
No worries. But yeah,
Yeah.
I dropped those all over the Dwarven Fortress just so I could see if I could pick up any other acolytes of my own.
Yeah, and there are none here at this time, but Anasia, the head priestess, does let you know that there is another one in town who stopped by for aid. And then there was Dodge, and I wonder, since he hasn't been with you guys, and that's partially maybe I forgot, but I wonder if you would have just sent him to Bryn Shander as well?
Yeah, I did. I think
Okay.
at the beginning of last session.
Okay, sweet.
Or actually, after we took down the dragon, I believe even we sent him back.
Yeah. So he is here as well. And and so he kind of nods, and he and Jerem go back to working the forge and kind of closing things up for the night.
It's going to be crowded in the bunkhouse tonight.
Anasia pulls you aside and she says, you three, I have heard of your good deeds. She's a small gnome dressed in red and black robes, and she says, I heard you were heavily involved in the goings-on at East Haven, taking down the Shardlin dragon. Is that true?
That's true indeed. We tracked it from a Durgar fortress that we found down in the spine of the world, and with the help of my cohort here, was able to take it down and prevent it from destroying too many towns. But unfortunately, it didn't reach Dugan's Hole and another town, which would be
Goodmead.
that one?
Goodmead. Yeah.
Goodmead, before we could put our swords to it. But it's long gone now. It's been dealt with.
Good. I'm glad to hear of it. Know that I and many others appreciate your deeds, but it's also... It hasn't become safer to be a Duergar in 10 towns, if you catch my drift. Daj has already had to stay in more than you ever did, if you catch my drift. I think he's a little bit spooked. I'm not sure if it's a good home for him here long term.
Perhaps it's not a good long-term home for me here either.
It saddens me to think it, but may be the case. But let's not rush to any decisions on that. Things could improve. You are a hero.
Well, I appreciate your kind words, and I hope you're right.
Anything else you guys would like to do before you kind of prepare for to sleep for the night?
I'm ready to hit the hay.
Okay. Nikos, you were trying to find out just more about sailing and venturing into the Sea of Moving Ice, yes?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and just make me an investigation roll, if you would. See what you managed to drum up.
Investigation. That is a 11.
Okay. I'll say that you do manage to find like maybe a couple of sailors, whalers even perhaps, as a lot of 10 towns does rely on whale oil as a source of fuel because even trees are becoming more scarce as vegetation, dies here in Icewind Dale. And they, can give you some basic information about the conditions there. Islands that are here at one point and then you never see it again because they're always moving. And you do hear that these particular sailors have actually seen this whale that was floated as an idea for a means of transportation in the Sea of Moving Ice, and they seem like serious about it. Like this is not just a fairy tale, a myth. They seem genuine. That there is a whale that that is known to transport its friends on its back.
So, this whale, I mean, you mentioned that, of course, there are people who have seen this and even people who have traveled with it. I mean, this must mean that people return safely from time to time, I imagine.
Oh, yes. Never, gotten on its good side, so to speak, but definitely seems to be a legitimate thing. And safe enough, I guess. I've talked to a lot of people who have taken the ride.
I guess. And the whale, it simply knows where it needs to go? It has a driver of some sort? I mean, pardon my curiosity. I'm not from around here, and I find the notion of getting on a wild beast and letting it sail me across the frigid, icy flows is not exactly the most calming of suggestions.
I share your nervousness about that idea for sure, but from what I hear, there's a place, an island where there's kind of a pier, and that seems to be the kind of the dock, if you will, for this ferry. Say, what are you? And he kind of peers up under your hood.
I'll sort of pull the hood down a little bit, and I'll say, I am a busy merchant from a distant land. But one final question, if I may be so bold. In terms of, let's say, the unlikely but unfortunate event that someone were to fall into the icy depths of the ocean, what are the likelihoods of being able to survive the cold, as it were?
It's not good. Not good at all. I mean, if you can be found and scooped out quickly, put before a fire, that's about your only chance. It'll kill you quick.
I see. Thank you. Your advice has been most illuminating. I'm gonna flick him just a silver piece.
Yeah.
And I'd like to, if possible, collect the following items just from a local shop.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to cast is I want to get just 4 reasonable doses of seal or whale blubber.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to, if possible, see if I can track down any dust of dryness.
Yeah. So
as well.
Is that what kind of item is that? Is it rare, wondrous? Is it just kind of?
It is a wondrous item.
Okay. Yeah. So I think what I usually do is item rarity is standard, so it's not super hard to find. Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll go ahead and say that in a town this size, you can find some dust of dryness. I don't see a price on this, but let me see if I can find it here on D&D Beyond. I guess it would be just the price for a wondrous item, uncommon. Okay, price. Wondrous item, uncommon. Okay, here we go. Here's the price chart. So uncommon. I would say it's probably going to be about 50 gold.
50 gold?
Yep.
All right, I'm a little shy of that. But I have, and I don't remember where I got it, but I have a 15 gold piece buckle that'll put me over that.
Mm-hmm.
Could I potentially sell that here?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Yep. And so you managed to get maybe 12 gold for it or something?
Okay. All right, that just leaves me with 3 silver pieces remaining after buying 1 dose of the dust of dryness.
Okay.
It's the poorest Nico's ever been.
Oh man!
All right.
Probably not a good feeling for you.
No. He's always had his coffers overflowing, but now it's a bit down. But I think dust of dryness is definitely going to be a good idea to take on this trip.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. That's everything. And then I'll turn into to Grokvar's apartment by the forge and rest up.
Okay. Yep. And good. So you guys pass the night without too much commotion. You get a little clanking at the forge here and there from Jerem, who seems to be having trouble sleeping. And it's a little bit crowded, but you are awakened to a bit of a commotion, however, outside. And Anasia quickly runs in, saying, "Quickly! Get your things! Help! It's Daj!" And she seems to just be in a total panic, and Jerem also seems to be rushing to get like a sword from the forge, and runs after her. What do you guys do?
She's come into the room, said that, and then left again.
Yeah.
Follow her out.
Okay. Yep. The rest of you too?
Yeah, same. I'll kind of look out the window before I rush out, just in case. I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
I'm wearing only my long underwear and carrying my battle hammer.
Okay. I love it. You guys do see out front that there is a man in heavy plate armor who has dodge pinned to the ground. And behind him, there are several other, seemingly knightly types, soldier-like types, who are not the town guard, but perhaps a paladin and his followers or something like that, who have dodge pinned to the ground, and they have another Dwargar behind them who is cuffed, and they're holding him by the arm.
I run in and grab the two that are sort of grappling with each other and sort of just try to pull them apart.
Okay. Yep, and at this time, why don't we go ahead and roll initiative? Oof. I got a 20.
14. Nope.
Right.
Yeah, 14.
18.
17.
All right. Oh. There we go. So, who got the
that's
18?
a 19 to me.
Okay, Nikos 19. And who got the 18?
Clay, was that you? Or
I got
or Fizwick? Was that you?
Hey, oh,
Fizwick?
sorry. Yeah, 18.
Okay, Fizwick got an 18. And
I was in
someone
my mind.
And then Alex and Ryan.
17.
Okay.
I got a
Wow.
14.
All really high. Okay.
Mhm.
So Clay will be last, and then
For having +7 on initiative, I am doing. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I also have advantage on initiative. So let me
oh man.
19.
Okay.
Forgot
So-
about that.
All right. So Clay and Nikos, I'll let you guys decide who wants to go first there.
You can go first. Nikos would definitely not. Well, he'd be in a rush, but he wouldn't be like out the front rush. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I suppose it makes sense because I went ahead and grabbed the guys too. So
There you go. All right. So we're gonna go with. And I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys the Owlbear Rodeo link here. I just kind of cobbled together a quick makeshift town map. Not just an Owlbear. Okay, let me send you guys the link here. And now... Okay, so basically these dark shapes, I just made quick rectangles to represent buildings. So you guys are coming out of the building right here. And this section right here on the map is like the forge part of the temple. And then this is the main part. The forge part of the temple doesn't have its own door. It just goes through here. So you guys just have run through the forge area and now out the front door here. At the front door, there is this, knightly-looking fellow, and we'll just put him right there, and then we'll do a bunch of four soldiers here as well.
Where's Nikos?
Standing behind. And, okay, that's a good question.
Nikos is being very safe.
Let me see.
Okay.
Let me get Nikos up.
Maybe
there.
he's invisible.
There we go. Okay, so, and the door we'll say is just right. I'll just make a little line here. The door, right there. Okay, there we go.
Where are the two gentlemen that I just pulled apart?
So, you are running over to Dodge and the paladin, who seem to have him kind of pinned to the ground, and you're trying to basically like knock him off or pull him off the.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
Dodge.
like pull him off of him so that, you know, and yell like, I'm trying to sleep.
I love that. That's the reason you're upset. Yes.
Hey, things are as they are. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, and there's another Dwargar back here who is tied up, basically. All right. So, Clay, go ahead and make a strength check. We're gonna do an opposed strength check. This group has actually, rolled higher in initiative, but they're engaged in what they're doing, not fighting you yet.
That's really weird. D&D Beyond just goofed up. I rolled a 19 plus 3, and it tells me I got a 4.
Well, you're in luck. I rolled a 1, a natural 1.
All right.
All right.
Well, maybe
So-
that's what I saw. I don't know. Did you roll it in D&D Beyond?
No, I rolled a physical die. Yeah.
Oh, weird. Yes, so I got 22.
All right. So, yeah, you managed to push this guy off of Dodge, and so he's, yeah.
I don't know that I would necessarily try to like push him off, but I would like try to grab him by the back of whatever armor he has and kind of like stand him up to almost my level.
Yeah. Yep. You managed to do that. Anything else you'd like to do?
Well, I'm not all about punching the local law enforcement, so I'm just gonna ask my question or assert my dominance, whatever we want to call it, and see what his response is.
Yeah. Filthy Dwargar! They can't stay here. They don't belong here. Not in our town. And he is just kind of, you can see through his helmet, his just fire in his eyes. And the rest of his troop here seem to be very roughly handling the other Dwargar, and seem now to be, drawing their. Well, I guess they already had their swords drawn, but seem to be moving towards you, saying, "Stand down!"
Do I have enough time in my turn to respond to that?
Sure.
Has he broken any laws? Or are you just causing trouble where there is none?
They caused the trouble. They are the ones who brought this upon the 10 towns.
Seems
And-
odd that if they knew destruction was coming, that they'd choose to be here.
Let's see. Yeah, he would probably say, "I don't know why they're here, but they don't belong." And he kind of motions to pull Dodge up. Starts, it's not his turn, so he can't do that. But you know what I mean. And that brings us to Nikos.
Nico steps forward and he says,
No, not Grukvar.
"Oh, sorry."
Yes. Well, I mean, to be fair, he did start off well. I mean, you keep going. I want to see what this goes.
Yeah, what's up here? I want to
What is
finish
happening
too.
Yeah,
here?
because he didn't say Grumbar
after-
either. He said Nikos. So I mean, I'm like,
After-
tell me, what is Nikos doing?
After Nate let me do the recap earlier, I decided I was going to take it all the way through this session, and I was just going to
Yeah,
cover.
that's it. I'm keen.
This is a narrated session, not an actual playthrough session.
No dice needed. We're just going to tell you what happens.
No, actually, I don't know what that was. It was just a little overconfidence on my part. So I'm going to just step aside here and
That's
let
okay.
I'm going to let the real
It-
Nico speak.
Look, I'm going to say this. I'm honored because it means that whatever you've got planned next is like even that much more exciting.
I was
because
just thinking about
you're
Rucker.
so
I don't know why I said
confident in it.
Nikos.
Everybody
All right.
wants to be you.
I don't know what to tell you.
I know. It's fine.
No,
It's fine.
please
I
continue.
got a lot.
What
All
am I
right.
doing?
So, Nikos will, as he sort of walks out and seeing the guards wrestling down the Duragar. My first question is how do they look when Grukvar emerges from the house in his Duragar onesie?
Yeah. Like what is the reaction of the soldiers, you mean?
Yeah, does it look like they're kind of eyeballing him and kind of look like they're about to arc up, or do they kind of ignore him and seem to be more focused on the ones that they have?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I guess I would ask Grukvar, are you out the door yet, you think?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and move your tokens too a little bit. In fact, I'll just
Okay.
make a little more breathing room here for that to happen. Okay. So yeah, they are definitely moving in toward Grukvar as well. Like probably these two are starting to, look like they want to take Grukvar. And another one! Seize him! They're looking like they wish they had brought more backup.
Yeah, they definitely will.
I'll just speak on my turn. I'll let Nikos go wherever he's going to go with this.
Yep.
Oh,
Aren't you Nikos? though?
I learned my lesson.
well, I was gonna say, could I mean, because speaking is a free action, right? Because I think, while I wouldn't necessarily wait for them to act, I would definitely wait to see if Grukvar says anything immediately before I jump in. Because I do have something I want to jump in with. But
Okay, in that case, Grukvar says, you don't want to lay your hands on me. I'm a protector of Icewind Dale. Look at this face. You haven't heard of our group? You haven't heard of what we've done? These Duergar are with us.
They look confused and kind of like. And the paladin, he says, "Pay him no mind. He is one of them. If you've heard he's a hero, it is but a guise."
at this point, Nikos will step forward, and as the paladin says that, he will basically turn and sort of crack his neck a couple of times, and as he does, guys, you say, this is a very poor choice of word, and Nikos will sort of clench his chest, and as he does, he'll sort of basically lean forward and then erupt, transforming into a young black dragon using the polymorph spell.
Okay, so
And
We just got rid of the one. Now we got another one.
one point of clarification on polymorph. I think it has to be a beast, and I'm not sure if a
does it? Oh,
dragon
okay.
is.
Hold on. Let me just double check that.
Let's see here.
It says creature.
Yeah, it's not a beast though. So it has to be basically like an.
Oh yes,
animal.
no, you're right. Sorry, my apologies. It does say
No worries.
beast. It does say beast. In which case, let's see. I can transform into a. Oh, easy done here. I'm gonna transform into a mammoth.
Okay, is a mammoth
That is a beast.
a CR7 or lower?
Yep, that's CR6.
Okay, perfect. I love it. Oh man. All right.
All right.
You have done so.
And I'm going to, like, just as a free action, like, just trumpet a huge, like, kind of like, the what do you call it? What do you call it when a I don't want to say toot. Toot sounds awful. I don't want to toot.
A blast.
Yeah.
Blast? Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
okay, we're gonna
trumpet.
go-
I think trumpet is good.
Trumpet is a
Trumpet?
verb.
Yeah.
Very well. All right. So I will trumpet as a giant.
And then I toot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So hang
Let's
on.
go
I
ahead
got
and
this
just
one.
do this for now.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's go ahead and just.
Awesome.
There we go. Mammoth. Okay. Yeah, I mean so all of a sudden, this kind of thin-ish figure of Nikos now just and it takes up, the whole space here probably pushes Clay and the group that he's with here even a little bit further. And
Is a mammoth size huge?
the size is huge, yes.
What is that convention? Is that like 4x4?
Yeah, it's going to be even bigger than this for sure.
I'm gonna get out of the way here. I'm gonna make a little room for that.
Yeah. All right.
I definitely, my goal was to get as big as possible, just to kind of basically to turn into this is not the fight you want at the moment.
Yeah.
Regard you're looking for.
Exactly. All right. So that is going to bring. Yeah, they look shaken. We'll just say that. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Nikos?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Fizwick, it is your turn.
Fizwick's gonna run back upstairs and see if he can dash into like a viewpoint on the second level.
Okay, yeah, I'll say that, there's not really an upstairs here, but you could probably climb on the roof if you wanted to by, like, hopping on the, maybe climbing up on the wall of the forge area, and then
I can just
onto
crawl
this
up the back of this big mammoth ass and, like,
do
just
that too.
sleep on the back of
Absolutely.
on the top of the roof.
Nikos, if you felt climbing on you, would you be amenable to this?
I mean, I'm less amenable to the fact that he called my ass big. I mean, just
He called it
the
mammoth.
mammoth's ass would have sufficed. I mean, there's no need for adjectives. Little hurt, but I'll let it happen.
Now, don't you have the stats of a mammoth?
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
So if he starts ripping and tearing at the fur on your sensitive areas,
Well, could he not?
well,
I
it's
don't need
gonna
to
be-
lose hit points.
8d6 damage
It
per
was
foot
actually
climb.
quite gentle. He didn't mind it at all, and Fizwick jumps off with a quick.
Fortunately, Fizwick's pretty light, so I could see it not. I won't roll for that damage of the hair pulling.
I didn't mean damage. I just meant like that probably hurts. And a wild animal is not going to be very happy if you start pulling on their hair.
True, but I'm also not a wild animal.
Yes.
I am an ecos.
All right, Fizwick, go ahead and make an athletics or acrobatics check, if you will.
Oh, nice. 16. And that's on a 7. Nice. Oh, cool. Ooh. Yeah, 16. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, you rolled a 7, but your modifier is insane. All right, so yes, you managed to get up on the back here of the mammoth. I'm gonna say that's probably your action because it's actual climbing. It's not just like movement. So that's going to be all you can do on this turn.
I can't use my bonus action.
You could use a bonus action.
I'm gonna use the to. Am I like? Oh wait. Yeah. Can I hide?
Yeah, you could kind of like get back. Yeah, go ahead and make a stealth check.
It says, "Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Mammoth Man." And
This is polymorphs into a flea.
Stealth.
Yeah, stealth.
Yeah. Sorry. 19.
Nice. Okay. Yep. You definitely find like a position on the mammoth, on Nikos. There we go. That is. You feel you're pretty well hidden.
I'm up by an ear or something. I scratched him in his ear.
You're like tucked under the ear. Nice. Okay. Excellent. That brings us to Grukvar's turn.
All right. So the paladin that's closest here, the one that was just pulled up onto his feet by Clay on his turn.
Yeah.
Is you said he's wearing full plate armor?
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast heat metal on his armor.
Okay. And that can be done with range.
Yeah, I've got a range of 60 feet for that.
Okay. Yep. Just don't roll low or you might hit Clay.
Okay. How does this work again? I gotta
You have to make a saving throw.
Well, I'm holding him, so I'm probably going to get a singed hand at least.
There actually is no saving throw for heat metal.
Okay.
It just happens. And
Sweet.
Any creature in physical contact with the object, which in this case is that armor, takes 2d8 fire damage when I cast a spell.
Oh, come on.
And then until the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on each of your subsequent turns to cause this damage again. If the creature is wearing the object and takes damage from it, they must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object if they can, and he's wearing plate armor, so he can't. And because of that fact, he has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Dang. Okay. So, yeah.
So 10 points of damage
Okay.
for the initial casting.
Yeah. Got it.
So Grukvar is standing there rubbing his hands together like he's in front of a fireplace, and then he forces that forwards with his hands, and you see the plate armor turn red hot.
Mm-hmm. Nice, yeah, and so this glowing happens, and you start seeing as he kind of reels back. He's no longer holding on to the Duergar, and seems to be kind of just stomping his feet. Doesn't know what to do with himself.
And I also say, Dodge, get in the temple.
Okay, yeah, good.
If he's able to get to his
and
feet.
Daj, yeah, I mean, I'll let him go on your turns here,
Okay.
and he just kind of bolts this way and around. And he's holding on to, he goes inside, and you see him kind of stick his head back out, and he's holding a hammer.
Okay.
All right. Very good. Anything else you'd like to do, Grukvar?
That is all.
Okay. And that brings us back to the top of the order, and it is their turn. Given the fury they have unleashed upon themselves here, and by the way, a number of guards have now, and a crowd has kind of gathered around, and you see a number of guards just kind of unsure of what to do, just kind of saying, "Hey there!" and yelling out, but afraid to approach. These guys are actually going to bolt and try to break through the crowd. I will let Clay make an opportunity attack on one of them as the leader kind of seems to be following his troops, not ordering them to retreat, but just kind of like in such pain that he's just tears after them. So, Clay, do you want to make an opportunity attack on one of them?
I do, but I actually just want to boot him in the rear as he turns to walk away.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yep. So you can go ahead and just roll like an
unarmed strike.
Yeah, unarmed strike. Yep.
16.
All right. Yep. That's a hit. And
if you give him damage, it's 4 bludgeoning. But if
wait, that's not a hit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because he's got AC 18. I was looking at the other ones. So the paladin, you give him a boot, but it doesn't do any damage. He just kind of stumbles off.
Which was my intent anyway.
Yep. All right. So
4 bludgeoning damage to his butt.
just to his butt. Can you
Won't
call
be
your
able to sit
shots
down
on that?
tomorrow.
All right. So these guys are just peeling out of here. Like they have this other Duergar in tow, and they are running away. So they managed to get. I'm just gonna whatever. I'm not gonna go about the trouble of moving them all. I'm just gonna say they move up here. Okay.
How far away did they move?
So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's about almost 60 feet.
Wow, they can walk really fast.
Yep. So they dash. Yep. All right. That brings us to Clay.
Okay, so it's almost 60 feet. It's not a full 60 feet.
Well, I guess probably the last one would not be quite 60 feet from
Okay,
you.
well, because I would like to use Ghostwater Dive,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll run halfway for my movement, and use Ghostwater Dive to show up, boom, right in front of them.
Nice. I love it. Okay, and what does this look like as you do this?
So I basically like dissolve into water and like, let me see exactly what it says. Let's see here. It's a teleportation spell, but I burst into water and then materialize somewhere else. So I'm imagining like I just fall apart into water and then that water just goes to wherever I want and I rematerialize out of the water there.
Yeah, and they definitely look spooked as you have done this and are just like in shock. That's awesome.
And then so that's my action. For my bonus action, what do I want to do? I'm just going to take my shield off my back. No, I probably wouldn't have that because I just came out from nappy time. So I'm going to just hold my hand up and order them to stop.
Yeah. All right. You do so. They momentarily kind of stop in their tracks as you've appeared before them.
Actually, I tell them to stop and let the Duragar go.
Okay. He says, never! As they kind of do the cartoon, like, come to a stop, like... And, yeah.
Then, so I didn't take a bonus action, so I'll rage for my bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
And my my dredge line comes out again, sort of from like the center of my back up.
Nice.
Over my face.
All right. Very good. That brings us to Nikos. Nikos, you are a mammoth. What would you like to do?
Well, with Fizwick riding on the back of Nikos's furry body, I am going to absolutely charge at the guards.
Yep.
My goal here is not so much to swamp them, but to kind of just scatter their ranks and try to get them like away from the Durga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you can go ahead and move your token that direction. I'm assuming what is the speed of a mammoth?
Okay, so a mammoth has an ability called Trampling Charge.
Nice.
So it's got a 40-foot movement, and then at the end of the 40-foot movement, I want to use it to move 20 foot in a straight line to strike a creature with a gore attack. And then they must make a strength throw or be knocked prone. So I guess it's more of an aesthetic thing rather than doing damage.
Yeah.
I want to kind of plow through them and just sort of knock them about.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm just gonna make a strength saving throw here for. Okay, so the main guy, he makes his saving throw, so he will not be prone. The others also make their saving throw, but they are definitely scattered, and I'm going to say that's effective. And yeah, this one still has a hold of the Durgar, but not so much in force anymore. All right, yeah, it's a chaotic scene. The villagers who are kind of gathered about here are also scattering and staggering back, and people are a crowd is starting to gather even larger here. All right, that brings us in the order to Fizwick.
Can we? I don't often bend rules. Can we do a rule of cool here and have Nikos reach up with his snoot and grab me and flick me like a dart with my rapier into like some dude as my move? And it be like a stealth move because they don't know that I'm there, and he just reaches up with his snout and like just.
I would say I would leave that up to you and Nikos. You could certainly
You
yell like, Nikos, fling me down, or something like that.
Nikos!
Pick me like a booger.
He gets up to your next to your ear and he screams, Nikos, toast me, and he slides down Nikos's snoot right down to the end of his
Trunk.
thing, and he pulls out his rapier
You could just secretly. You could be. You're under his ear, right? You're just whispering that in his ear
Oh, that's
quietly.
Yeah, what am I doing? I'm
Knows you're
animating
there.
this way
all right,
too
look.
much.
I'm gonna be honest. If I get to play around with this, I am absolutely all for this. So here's what Nikos does. He sees what he does, and all of a sudden, almost in like an abject surprise, Nikos, with his new huge size, sticks his trunk and Fizwick into his mouth, and then pulls the trunk back out. Then what he does is he aims his trunk towards the boss, and then snot missile.
I hope that rapier doesn't get stuck in your trunk.
That's amazing. All right, so
You got some weird connections with your sinuses if you can put them in your mouth and then spit them out your nose.
We don't know.
Apparently elephants can do that. They can like it's all attached to their sinuses.
it's amazing. All right, Fizwick, acrobatics check. And Fizwick and Nikos take a point of inspiration.
Yay!
12, but if that's not enough, I'm rocking a point of inspiration I already had.
If that's not enough, I say you get stuck in one of his nostrils. Just
So
At the
normally, I can't tell you whether or not you succeed. You have to decide on.
I'm
if you wanna
using
use
the next. I'm gonna roll
Yep.
again. I just need this to happen.
Yep.
There we go. 28.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this happens. All right. So pick a target. Which one you going for?
I can't see shit, can I? I'm like
No, but
stuck
I'm
in
just
this-
letting you pick because.
Oh.
Yeah.
the biggest dude out there.
All right. So yeah, that one is the paladin here, and basically I'll let you kind of describe what you do. Do you just are you making a rapier attack?
Yeah, and just kind of slowly as I'm flying through the air, switching the rapier down towards my feet. So as I smash into this guy with my feet, it's like I'm jumping into him and impaling the
Yeah.
rapier. And
All
I was
right.
hoping, can I get the sneak stuff on that?
Yep, you can go ahead and do your sneak attack
sauce?
damage.
Okay.
And
Oh wait, two hit though, right? Or am I?
no, I'm just gonna say that
Just kidding.
your acrobatics check was also the attack.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead and roll your damage.
So 10 plus 20.
20
20
damage. Dang, yeah.
Oh wait, screw it. Let's toss on my small nimble.
I wasn't aware we were trying to kill the town guard.
These are not the town guards.
I'm gonna.
And
Fury of the
Anasia
Swamp.
probably would have whispered that to you if you don't know too. That
They like vigilantes or something.
they look extremists, zealots of some kind. She would say.
Oh, down with them all.
All right, so
Fury
sorry,
of the
Fizwick.
Small. I'm adding my Fury of the Small for 27 points of damage.
27 points of damage. Whew. Dang.
That was
all right.
the snoot rocket worked.
Yeah, that was incredibly effective.
Well done, Nikos. You can kind of
As
hear it going
as
through
you
the
raise
air.
your hand to high five, I just sort of step on you.
So yeah, you're like on this guy's back essentially. You have just jabbed your rapier into a like a seam in the armor, and he's hurting. Ah! Fly, flee, run! As he's kind of bleeding out here. All right.
Also,
And-
now I'm sticky.
That brings us next to Gruckvar.
Okay. I am going to have to dash to get up here to be part of the action again. So I'm going to use that as my action, and I'm going to yell to the paladin whose armor was burning, and also toward the guy who's holding the Durgar, and say, "Unhand the Durgar, and the pain stops." And I'm looking at them to see if they're tracking with that, and seeing if there's any change of if they've let go of the Durgar.
Yeah. This one looks at, glances around him very quickly, and he does. He lets go, and Yeah, that's all he's gonna. Well, I guess that's not all he's gonna do. Do you do anything else in your turn, Grukvar?
I want to. I'm just going to let the heat metal drop. Okay. As soon as the hands go off the Duergar, I let up on that, and the armor returns to its original state. And I yell to the Duergar to head to the temple.
Yeah, and he does so. He, as soon as he's let free, he runs behind you, and then if you tell him to flee, he'll go that way.
Okay.
And then it is their turn. Just a minute here. All right. And they are just going to continue running. They're just doing their best to get out of here. Clay, I'm going to let you make an opportunity attack on this one, if you would like to.
I'm just gonna like two-hand shove him and try to make him like fall down into the snow and have to get back up before he can get away.
Okay, yep, go ahead and make that attack roll.
That would be a natural 20 plus 6.
Oh yeah, he bites it hard and just, just face right into the ground. And then Nikos and Fizwick, you can make an opportunity attack on this one if you would like to.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll that attack.
7.
All right, that is going to miss. So you kind of, smack with your rapier, but he's just a little too quick. And Nikos, did you want to attack as well?
Well, I did, but I kind of wanted to do non-lethal damage.
Yeah.
And then I rolled a critical hit.
Okay.
Really hit with that non-critical damage.
I'm going to just say that, are you stomping on him?
I'm stomping on him, yeah.
Yeah, you knock him out cold.
Because that was 37 damage.
Holy.
Yeah, out cold. And I'm glad you declared that non-lethal because yes, there's no that would have definitely killed him. All right, so the rest of these guys are continuing to run. The crowd is starting to thicken even more as people are gathering around the spectacle. The guards are approaching timidly. And this guy's just laid out in the snow here, just out cold. All right, and that brings us out of combat unless you guys do want to give chase to the others. What would you like to do?
I'll let them flee.
Clay just kind of just brushes his hands off and walks back toward bed.
Yeah.
Actually, Nikos, how many people are still running away? Like, what's the?
There are 4 others, soldiers that are running away.
Yeah, no, I won't bother. That's fine.
All right. Anything else you guys would like to do?
Where's Fizwick at?
Still in the back of a mammoth, for all I know.
We should go after him.
Oh, wait,
and let
no.
him know that they-
He's still stuck in the guy that he hit.
Don't mess with the Icewind Dale 4, motherfucker.
Yeah, but see, that's why you need survivors, Fizwick, so that they can tell other people.
There we go.
They're running away, and Fizwick is just hanging onto the end of his rapier, bouncing up and down because he's stuck in the armor.
Yeah, and Fizwick is also just quite a scene here as the crowd, you even see some people laughing and kind of cheering a little bit as Fizwick is just dripping with goopy snot and all right. So this guy's still on the ground. Do you guys just want to leave him here? Nikos, are you still a mammoth? What's going on?
I'll be a mammoth until I'm certain that they're gone, and then I'll shift back.
Okay.
I want to drag the unconscious guy into the temple and just prop him up somewhere where Anasia can keep an eye on him and then sort of, talk to him when he comes to. Just try and talk with reason to him.
As you are dragging him toward the temple, there is also there's no sign of them or anything, Nico. So, if you want to shift back into Nico's form, feel free to do that.
Yep.
But as you guys are approaching, getting close to the temple, a couple of guards step forward, and they are flanked by one man in particular who seems to be the captain of the guard, and you guys would probably recognize him. And let me see, I don't think I have a picture of him, but he is a okay. He has very dark skin, kind of a peppered, salt and pepper goatee, and completely bald, wearing the uniform of the guard here, except a little more elaborate. This is Sheriff Markham Southwell, and he steps up and he says, "Hold on. Where are you taking him?"
To rest and recover inside the temple. We don't mean him any further harm, but just wanted to stop a crime from happening.
Tell me exactly what happened here.
These men, are they associated with you in the guard in any way?
No, they are not. Zealots
Well-
of some kind. An offshoot of the Temple of Lathander, I think.
Well, they took it upon themselves to assign guilt to 2 Duergar. I imagine because of what's been happening around the Dale these past couple of weeks. And then we're going to arrest them or take them away and do, I don't know what, but we wanted to stop them before that happened.
I respect that, your defense of your kind, and I want you to know I don't judge them for their race, nor you. Everyone should have a chance, especially here in 10 towns. People come here, after all, to start over, start fresh. I would prefer if he came to the jail, if you'd allow me to take him.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Rolled a 17. Does he seem on the level?
Yeah, he seems on the level. Yep.
I feel I can trust you, but what about your men under you? Will these Duergar be safe there?
The Duergar? No, I don't want to take them. I just want to take this tin can here, and he kind of gives a kick to the paladin that's passed out.
Oh, in that case, take them all.
Did Fizwick sneak a hand in that passed out paladin's pockets?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
19.
All right. Yeah. You managed to get 17 gold pieces from his pouch.
And you could hear like an audible squeak come from Fizwick.
I feel like the tides of fortune in terms of riches have really been going Fizwick's way.
Yeah, Fizwick is the kingpin right now at the moment.
I don't know. I'm still broke, so it's been pretty even for me.
Okay.
Yeah, Fizwick can buy all the piss beer he wants.
Nice.
Yeah, Fizwick's rolling on the hog.
All right, I am going to try to pull up a picture of this guy. Sorry, just give me a moment here. See if D&D Beyond will cooperate. There he is. Okay.
Well, Fizwick Enterprises is going along nicely. Chumps.
LLC.
Yes, Fizwick LLC.
All right, so that's Sheriff Markham Southwell. So he kind of gives a nod and he says, "We'll question him figure out exactly what he was up to. But this is not entirely surprising, given the murmurings we've heard, and one of the reports from Anasia as well, that she feared for the well-being of her new Duergar recruits.
Well, if you ever come upon a Duergar and you're not sure what exactly his allegiance is, ask him to show you his amulet. And then I reach in and I pull out one of those amulets that I made. I have one around my neck, and just kind of give him that tip.
That is useful. Thank you. Actually, I think I do have a picture of one of those right here. There we go. Nice. Yeah, and so the at that you see the Duergar who's kind of run back, and Daj as well. Both kind of take theirs out and kind of nod,
Check, make sure they still have it.
them. Yeah, yeah. And they nod at each other like, okay, good. Yeah, good. So, anything else you guys would like to do as they start to drag this paladin away?
I want to walk up to the Duergar I haven't met yet and just say, the name's Grukvar. What's your name?
My name is Ragrik.
Ragrik?
Well met.
Nice to meet you. Listen, I'm directing this to Daj and Ragrik. I've been thinking about this turmoil that's been going on with the Duergar in town as it is now, and since Anasia brought it to my attention last night, and I think for the time being, the two of you should stay within the forge. Keep the door closed and don't interact with anybody if you don't have to. I'll ask Anasia to make sure you get some rations every once in a while, and you get a chance to use the restroom when the coast is clear. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to spread the news to this town about myself and you two and any others that are going to be part of our number, to let them know what exactly we're about and that we're not causing trouble.
Right. We would appreciate that. And the other one kind of grunts as well. And Dodge, that is, kind of grunts.
I want to lay out some gold coins. What do you think a simple printing press would cost?
Oh man!
I'm not like an advanced one. Just the what you see in like your art class, and with just like the little screw that you can compress it down. And
yeah. Let me do a little research on that and get back to you for next time.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I imagine they're a bit rare in this area, but you could probably like even pay like a printer to like make a what do you call it? A stamp, essentially.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I want to go about doing that then to find anybody who would help me make a set of broadsheets I can put around town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just gonna make a note of that here in my notes, and I have too many notes up because I was looking for that that NPC name. All right, here we go. Okay.
Okay. That's
so your goal is to kind of like make some flyers, essentially. Yeah.
I would like to subscribe to your newsletter.
Yes. All right. Excellent. So it is morning time. Anasia kind of says, "Come in, all of you. Let's get out of here. The people are staring." And and you do see that a sizable crowd is gathered, and they're not looking antagonistic, but just kind of there to observe, wide-eyed and kind of in awe of what just happened here.
Is Nico still in mammoth form?
No, Nico's transformed back.
Okay.
Yeah, once they left.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So, You guys now are within the confines of the Shrine of Ula. What is next for you all? I think that Vellynne had said that she would be around the Northlook Tavern. If you guys want to head there, it is a new day.
Oh, is this? Oh, okay. So we got a long rest then.
Yeah, it was like, you got your long rest. Yes, we'll say that. It is morning.
Is there a taxidermist around here?
Sure.
Okay. I want to bring my owl bear pelt to him. I want to get his head and front claws mounted.
Nice. Okay. Yep. That's another thing I will look up, just how much taxidermy costs.
Okay.
Yep. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. You guys want to head off to the Northlook to meet Vellynne?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent. We will actually take a break and resume at the Northlook Tavern. And I want to thank everyone for joining us, and I especially want to thank our sponsor, Hero Forge, as well, for their support of the stream. Check out some cool images of the sort of thing that is possible using Hero Forge during the break, and our cool little tokens here, also made possible through Hero Forge. All kinds of cool stuff you could do, not just 3D printed miniatures or character portraits, but also tokens and much more. So thanks to them, and we'll be back very shortly. Thanks, everybody. I gotta find a button.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. We're back.
I'm
Hey,
too-
Michael made some cool updated tokens that I just wanted to show real quick. They look rad. Let me see if I can get them on the screen, though. There we go. We're getting there.
They were a big
Not-
bid for resolution.
Yeah, not canon yet, but anyway, Michael's been playing around with Hero Forge a lot. Some of the new tools that they've added since we first made our tokens way back. And so anyway, we've got Clay, Fizwick, updated, Grukvar, and oh no, I'm showing my Facebook now. Where did Nikos go? There we go. Nikos. Yeah. So love them. Super cool. Thanks for doing that, Michael. That was a nice surprise.
Well, I was kind of inspired by us getting some fan art that I was like, yeah, I mean that's what art's all about. It's like, inspiring each other to do things. So it inspired me to kind of play around a little bit and update everyone's tokens and have a bit of a play. So yeah. So thank you.
Can you mention
cool.
some of the new things that you were able to add that were updated in the Hero Forge system?
Yeah, totally. So if you look at Nikos, we have some tribal war paint, which you can see over the eyes. I've also used transparent plastics, which are a new feature. I think it's only available to the pros and the Kickstarters at the moment, but they look amazing. If you go to Fizwick,
Let me see how I can show those here without showing my whole Facebook. Let me grab them here. Sorry. Okay, and then I will. Okay, there we go.
okay. So Fizwick, we've added in, as you can see, some white face paint there. In addition, there's a new thief bodysuit that you can actually get. So we've put him in that bodysuit with lots of buckles, because that's what thieves love. Thieves love buckles. And we've also added in, which you can kind of see there, a lighting source. And I've been playing around with the lighting source a lot, and I definitely vouch for it. It adds just something really nice to a lot of the models. And Fizwick likes fire, so there's a fire burning nearby, which you can see kind of on his face as well, and that'll come through super nice. With Grukvar, you should be able to see. One of the things you can do with this particular the painting and colors is you can actually change the individual colors of the eyes. So we made him have kind of that dark sclera for his eye, make it glow a lot more. Because when you end up printing these models, that glow will make the eyes really stand out a lot more for that, which is great. And yeah. I think those are all the really big new ones. Clay also has a new axe, which was one of the Norse Viking axes, which we threw in, and back to Facebook, and yeah, more of the war paint and stuff like that. Oh, and the new short mohawk spiky haircut, which is all new. So yeah, tons of stuff comes out weekly, and honestly, Hero Forge is just so much fun to just chill and play around with. So
yeah. And that's cool. I love it. It is one of those things where you'll make a character, but yeah, I mean, if you wait 2 months, there's going to be things that are radically different that you can add that make it even better. And this has been far more than 2 months. And they're adding new stuff every week. So I see that Jake said, just curious where to find the Hero Forge ornaments. I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that if you just go to create your figurine, there is an option to add a little hook or loop at the top of the head of your figurine, the highest point. Do you remember that being a thing, Michael?
It looks like a little alien antenna.
Yeah. In addition to the base being able to be a over your DM screen thing, they have that as one option. So and then you can just tie string through it, and yeah. Also, if you have a 3D printer, you can get the STL and you can embiggen it. You can just make it bigger, print that thing at 300%, And you know, it's not gonna, the detail won't be quite as crisp as when you have like a little thing, but
It's a
it'll
big
look
and
cool.
hang it from your rear view mirror in your car.
There you go. You can even we were talking about like hacking 3D printer files before, me and Ryan, and how he's like slicing things because he knows Blender and stuff. I would love to see someone like take a Hero Forge mini and just like make it a bobblehead, like a big head. Like, let's print the head at 500%. I guess you can kind of do that on Hero Forge, but anyway, fun stuff. All right. Good. So check out Hero Forge. Also check out Dead Aussie Gamer and Darksea Workshop down in the video description. Michael is running games all the time, and just up to a lot of good stuff. Also got some cool Hero Forge videos showing off cool stuff you can do with Hero Forge, so check out links to his stuff in the video description. And Will is really getting close to the full dice sets. You've got full dice sets.
They're
now.
made, yeah. I just got to keep making them now. Finally got my S in one pile.
Right. So the D20s are up on the shop now, the Etsy shop, and there's a discount if you use the link in the video description or the coupon code. And soon to be full sets of jumbo size dice. They're like bigger than normal. Can you show us the size comparison?
They're huge, and they're going to be like $1 million. So it will be
Yeah.
cheap. We went over this struggle, so people don't think I'm trying to, like, these are probably some of the glossiest dice I've ever seen, too. So there's like a
standard D10 and
D10 next to the Chessex D10, and then here's like a D12 next to my chunky monkey.
Wow.
It doesn't. This does no justice, but yeah, they're very shiny and pretty.
They sure are. Yeah. Sweet. All right.
Thank you.
Let's head back to Icewind Dale, shall we?
See
if I can get this back where everything was now that I screwed it up.
Yes.
All right. Good enough. So, you guys are headed to the Northlook Tavern, which you can see is on the north side of the town here. And as you approach the Northlook Tavern, it's definitely a busy place. You see some people already looking like they're drunk as a skunk here early in the morning, kind of loitering around outside, and gambling and things like that. It is a bit of a rough place, known to cater to adventurers and wayward souls. As you enter, you are immediately greeted by Old Bitey the fish, singing his song. Let's see here. Where's Old Bitey? I had Old Bitey. There he is. Old Bitey.
Do you want me to push the song?
Yes, do it, Michael.
All right. Hold on. I'm gonna turn the volume up a little bit for this one.
It's been a while.
Is it copyrighted?
Go farther up the rivers flow. Where it is, I don't know. Must be under all that snow.
They definitely got someone who couldn't sing for that. It's good though. That's Bitey. He's a little off key.
Also, just in case the person who was singing it was Ben from Sirenscape, we love you. Don't.
You're good, Ben. And thank you to Sirenscape for providing sounds for us as well. Check them out. They have every D&D module, Pathfinder, all sorts of awesome stuff. So yeah, it's good. So Old Bitey greets you as you see a group of adventurers kind of dancing around, even one clapping his hands a little bit offbeat as Old Bitey sings his song, and then they sit back down and Old Bitey remains lifeless on the wall there. You see Vellynne Harpell talking to the bartender, standing up, and as well as a whole lot of other people. What would you guys like to do?
Fizwick wants to try to blend into the room and just kind of disappear.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Do we overhear her saying anything to these people before we get up to closer to her?
No, I mean, she seems to be just kind of making chit-chat. You know, oh, yes, I heard that. He was a good one, but never did quite, deliver on the potential, I thought.
Okay. I'd like to just walk up and engage with her, just so she sees that we're here.
Yeah, and immediately she turns to you. Ah! Good. Friends, let's find a table, shall we? And she walks over. Let me see, pull up my picture of Vellynne Harpell here. There she be. And you don't see any signs of her kobolds here, but she does have her snowy white owl perched on her shoulder, and you all find a table, and she invites you down and says, so, I'm glad you made it. I've been waiting for, just a couple days here. So you made good time, I see, and took care of the business you needed. Yes? Ready to go?
I'm ready when you are.
Hey, grunts.
I know it is a bit redundant, but are we certain that the matter with the zealots of Lathander are resolved? I mean, we would scarcely want to leave our poor Durga friends in a situation where they may be attacked again.
I heard about that, yes. Word made its way to the Northlook here, as it always does. This is a place of information, after all. Well, from what I have heard, it's a fringe offshoot of the Temple of Lathander. And they're not in the good graces of the rest of the acolytes there. So I don't think they're going to pose much of a problem. Their numbers seem to be dwindling, and my feeling is they'll dwindle even further after this exposure and the capture of their captain.
Yes, well, if that is the case, then I suppose, then yes, we can leave. I've managed to prepare some sundry supplies for the journey, and from what I hear from the rumors around town, this giant whale that we are apparently going to be traversing across the ocean is safe enough that people have survived and returned to tell of their tales.
Yes, I've done some research on this too. Angajuk is the whale's name, and it seems to be that it is real and it does work. So we will find that out for ourselves shortly. And if it doesn't appear safe, there are alternate methods as well. I suppose you won't be having any objections to my kobold companions following us. They are loyal to me.
I suppose it'll be just fine. Where have they come from? Where do they pass their days? They live in town here?
No. I had them set up camp out in a copse of trees outside the town, and some of my possessions are there as well, including my sled. So they are guarding that, and we'll make our way out there shortly. I wanted to make sure you all know what you're getting into here. The codicil of white is what we are after. This is the object I described to you as perhaps being the key to unlocking the entrance to the lost city of Yithrin. It's perhaps the gem of the empire of Netheril, this city, and wealth untold, magical items untold. The Netherese were powerful. But doing this, I want you to know, could actually provoke the wrath of Auril the Frost Maiden. It is rumored to be guarded by her followers. I want to make sure you know it could be dangerous. But yes, it is rumored to contain a spell, the Codicil of White, or ritual of some kind that can create a passage through the Ragged Glacier. Divination magic has revealed that the book is being held in a frost giant fortress on a mist-shrouded island in the Sea of Moving Ice. I had used a family heirloom, an orb, to divine this. Now that's another item of note. The orb was stolen from me by a former colleague named Nas Lantomir. The orb has a personality of a scholar, and we've always called it Professor Scant. Its knowledge will help us once we descend into Yithrin. So if we can find that as well, we'll keep our eyes open for this traitorous colleague of mine. Nas might also be after the Codicil of White, so our paths may cross.
Now, just to reiterate, the Codicil has a spell that'll open the glacier, and inside the glacier, this is where that magical city resides?
That's right, the lost city of Yithrin.
I see.
Perhaps the key to ending the eternal winter we find ourselves in.
So the key to finding our solution to this eternal winter is to find the lost city that we have directions to? Maybe it's just me, but I find suspicion in a lot of things. Perhaps we should be extra vigilant as we endeavor on this escapade. We could be walking into a trap set by the Frost Maiden herself. We've already seen her influence stretches far and wide, and if, well, no offense, if the people of 10 towns have gathered information on how one can stop her, we may simply be playing into her very hands.
I like the way you think, and I think you might be right. But I'm encouraged by this fact. Auriel's presence here in Icewind Dale, away from the realm of the gods, to me signals weakness. She's not welcome there. She's with us. To me, this speaks of a certain vulnerability. So I do find some hope in that, at least. But we must be careful, you're right.
And yet, Vellynne, she is still a god. So, do you have any tips for us? How does one arm themselves against a god? I've taken on an owlbear and gnolls and earthly things like that, but what do you do when you fight a god? What armor can you wear that would protect you in that case? Is there anything like that out there that you know of with your arcane knowledge?
Well, I think one of our best strategies would be avoidance. We avoid direct confrontation with Auriel if possible, and seek to undermine her power in other ways. And I don't yet know those ways yet, but perhaps we will learn of them. But dream big, my friends. The lost city of Yithrin can give you nearly anything you desire. So, think on it. What do you desire?
What I desire is something not given, but something that I will need to take for myself.
I see it in your eyes. You desire vengeance.
Nikos Nikos is all about vengeance. It's like, I don't want someone to give me vengeance. I want to feel the life ring out of whoever had made the series of things that have befallen Nikos, just eke out of them.
You may find the tools you need to exact your vengeance. It is true.
There's nothing I need, save for what I have already. And I also don't like the idea of sneaking around or to confront my enemies.
As he says that, you can see Fizwick in the background sneaking around.
Yeah, he probably puts an extra emphasis on that to make sure you heard that too.
Floorboard creaks. He looks up and smiles at me.
I imagine Fizwick is like sitting there listening, and then as soon as Vellynne turns her head, he's just like, like he's off, like trying to pick a pocket. Okay, so Vellynne says, "I see it that you are a good man, Clay, and you do not have the selfish desires many of us struggle with. But I'll remind you as well that the secrets of the city of Yithrin could ease the suffering of all Icewind aliens so much. And so I pray that that will be enough for you."
That would be the only reason I would choose to go.
I will admit it is appealing to me as well. Grakvar, Fizwick, are you dreaming?
I believe that if I need anything now, it's to win great acclaim so that my clan will be safe in this town, and in Icewind Dale altogether will have a chance to prove themselves the way that I have. And perhaps if I can create some sort of benefit and bring an end to this endless night, then that could be my chance.
A worthy goal. Fizwick.
Nikos makes a smart-ass comment. Yes, of course, but you know that your story will eventually slip into legend, as if anyone is going to believe that a Durga is the one who ended the endless night. Yes, next you'll be saying is that a fish managed to empty the oceans.
Look to old Bitey. If that fish can sing, then I'm sure anything can happen out here.
Fizwick, what about you? What is it you desire? What would you do with magical items untold?
Fizwick has everything he needs here in this room. All his friends, all his people. But Fizwick would have much fun going after more treasures and trinkets and baubles.
Yes.
Picturing, like, as she directs that question to him, he looks at her and slowly sneaks his hand out of a stranger's pocket. Puts it down by his side. I don't need anything.
I love
I'm
it.
fine.
Yes, the sticky fingers would do well in the city of Yithrin, I think. Very good.
Can I make a sleight of hand check?
Yeah, go ahead and do that. I was just going to ask.
22?
Yeah, you come up with a silver watch out of the pocket that you're picking. Very finely crafted. Probably worth 10 gold pieces. I don't know. I'm not good at that sort of thing. Prices. Yeah, we'll say 15. Oh, I've got my window up still. Sorry. Let me close these tabs. All right.
I want to do that on my computer.
All right. So, you guys, I'll remind you as well that there was the matter of the indefinite madness that you guys are experiencing. So, Fizwick, you see, what's his name? Christopher. You see Christopher sitting at the bar.
Hold up.
It's Jonathan.
I thought it was Jonathan.
Oh, dang it. I knew it. Thank you guys. You guys are better than me.
Christopher's his best friend.
Jonathan is sitting at the bar, just kind of, you see him kind of like flicking people in the head. Nikos, you're feeling very thirsty. And Clay, your brashness has not gone unnoticed by Vellynne. She seems a little bit perplexed by you in terms of your confidence. Yeah, so do you guys want to try to deal with that here in Icewind Dale? Or, I mean, here in Bryn Shander?
Whoa.
In Harmony?
It's a chorus.
Well, I do. I definitely do. Because Nikos is being poisoned in two ways. Because I really only subsist off, brain matter, and I don't really feel like this is a good thing for me to have. So has Nikos put together that this is coming from the Shardlin exposure?
I'm trying to remember. I think that when you guys spoke with Elias, he was pretty injured, but I think that he did make it pretty clear that at least for Clay and Fizwick, that they were suffering from that. And I don't think yours had really exhibited itself too much yet, but I think he may have hinted at it.
No. So I probably haven't noticed it outside of the norm of I don't know why I'm so thirsty for a drink now and then. I'm going to see about. Oh, actually, is there a church to Lathander here?
There is.
I would like to go and speak with the Church of Lathander, please.
Okay. And are you guys going to accompany him?
Yeah. Does he say that's where he's going?
I will say. Now, as some of you may have noticed, since we have come into contact with the Shardlin, as Elias had previously told us, we have started to see a cascade of effects starting to alter our perceptions and our mind. I wish to have this removed before we find ourselves.
I feel fine.
So we are all really affected by these things, and I am going to have members of the Church of Lathander see to these and perhaps try to remove these afflictions of the mind.
I support that.
Do what you want. I'm comfortable here. I'm gonna get another beer.
Well, you weren't being asked, Clay. If we did, then, well, I will surely let you know. But trust me, you, along with every one of us, has been touched by the Shardlin and will be treated for it before you set single foot on Whale.
That's a sentence you never thought you'd say.
Yeah, I really didn't think I'd ever have to say that. Anyway.
Yeah, so Vellynne says, there's definitely something different about you, Clay. I think you better go along. Just in case.
More experience. I'm stronger. I'm better at what I do.
And we might have need for your muscle. So why don't you accompany us, Clay? We'd appreciate it.
Unless you're scared.
I'm not scared, but I'm also not stupid.
I don't know. It seems like you're pretty afraid. I mean, don't worry. I come from Threy. We see cowards all the time. Usually they are executed. But if you want to stay here, that's fine.
Vellynne says.
Don't stand up.
Vellynne says, best to make sure you're all in tip-top shape, Clay. Please.
I'm gonna leave. Come on, Fizwick.
All right. Clay, Vellynne says, she kind of just throws up her hands as you leave, and she says, well, I'm going to go back up to my room. We'll plan on meeting as kind of you guys are walking out. Should we plan on meeting first thing in the morning? Tomorrow. Sound good?
If it even takes that long.
Well,
Certainly, it sounds like a plan.
okay.
Raise my mug of beer in a scent. Take a sip.
Nikos will be marching out. Fizwick, are you following?
Yeah, Fizwick follows us. Can you turn into a giant monkey?
I giant monkey. You know what? But before that, I'm going to teach you a song. It's the song about brave Sir Clay. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
There once was a genasi named Clay, and all he knew how to do was run away. He ran from the left, he ran from the right, he ran from everything, including his fights. Brave, brave, brave man named Clay. Singing this loudly in the streets.
On top of a giant monkey.
And I'll transform into a giant monkey.
Crowd of onlookers, definitely jumps back and runs into alleys every which way, getting out of the way. All right.
And I'll put Fizwick like on my shoulders, like how like dads carry their kids on their like shoulder. Yeah, I'm carrying Fizwick, and I've taught him the song, and we're just singing it as we go.
We have ales too. The monkey has to have his own ale too. Like.
Yeah. I imagine I'll grab a barrel of wine before we leave.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Barrel of wine under his arm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Clay hears them singing the song as they walk away, and I just say, like under my breath, it's like, look who looks stupid now.
We can't hear you under your breath from down the street.
And how do you know I just said anything?
Because I'm a monkey and we've got good hearing.
I don't think that's a thing.
All right.
So I'm going to pull up the temple here. Okay, so we're in Bryn Shander, and I believe it is the House of the Morning Lord. Let's see. Yes. No, that's actually a shrine of Monitor, the god of the sun. Okay, so yeah, we'll just say that there is another. There is definitely a temple of to Lathander here, and yeah, the as you enter, the priest greets you and says, "Ah, welcome. What can I do for you?"
Blessings be, Father. My name is Nikos. This is my associate, Fizwick. I realized that I'm a monkey a few seconds after I approached the priest, going, rolls his eyes and then
Blowing
transforms back.
raspberries in the.
Yeah. Rafa, did you come as well?
I did, yes.
Yeah. We seek the blessings of the church to help us with certain magical afflictions that we have all found ourselves falling victim to. I will spare you the details, but would any member of your clergy be able to restore ourselves to fighting condition? We are on a valiant quest to try and protect these lands, and we are quite at risk should we continue in the state that we are in.
Yes, I do see a certain darkness here. All but you, and he points to Grukvar. You don't seem to be afflicted in quite the same manner. But
Grukvar puffs out his chest and like takes that as a point of pride.
So he says, I think a greater restoration spell should do the trick here. However, it is quite costly.
We were afraid of this. We were hoping that perhaps the generosity of Lathander and its priesthood might be willing to perhaps perform us such a service. After all, the word of Lathander is only as strong as those who represent it. And, well, there are some in town who say that another group has been representing Lathander's interest. And if it wasn't for, of course, the timely intervention of, say, some wandering heroes on a quest to save these lands, people might who knows, end up siding with these terrible, very misguided offshoots.
He looks shocked, and he's like, yes, I see what you're saying. You? Yes. And he actually says, I'll be right back. And he goes back into another room out of kind of
Common sense motive him. What are you up to, old man?
And
Don't you run from me.
he comes back a couple minutes later and he says, I think we can work out a deal. A heavy discount and sort of a barter system, perhaps, in place of the normal fee in gold. If it is agreeable to you, you all are affiliated with the Temple of Ula, are you not?
That's right.
Okay. Perhaps we can work out a deal with Sister Anasia, by which some work is done for our temple, perhaps the setting of some gems or some sort of other metalwork in payment for the spell.
That sounds fair, and I'd be happy to assist. That's my specialty.
Good. We'll come to a fair agreement. I won't try to squeeze more than the spell is worth. And I will send a messenger to the Temple of Ula straight away to relay this proposal of agreement to Anasia herself. Is this agreeable?
It is.
Okay.
And not to press too hard, but would it be possible for one of your order to follow us back to the Northlook to help one of our a group who's reticent to come to this
You would
holy
help?
place?
You would continue to help him? He's an idiot. Why would you waste your time?
We're going to need him in tip-top shape if he's going to be along with us, whether he wants help or not.
Usually it's not, and sometimes I'm very inclined to just let him lie in the bed that he lays for himself.
Well, I'm sorry to expose you to this
Look,
disagreement we have,
it's-
Father, but we'll go with Nikos on this one, and we'll let Clay make his own decisions. I suppose that's the right thing to do.
Look, either he will learn to trust us, but we cannot just keep laying our olive branches for him to trod on until he decides it's okay. He will learn, and when eventually that time comes, we will of course welcome him. But for now, however, I think the cost of 2 greater restorations might be an easier sell than 3.
All right. Well, you did your best to try and shame him, and you weren't able, so perhaps we best not test our luck again today.
And while you guys are discussing this, the priest is kind of going, and he's written a note. He's handed it to an acolyte, a messenger, and has gone out to the Temple of Ula. He comes back to you and he says, "All right, just the 2 of you, yes?"
Correct.
All right. And he says, "Please, come this way." And he kind of leads Fizwick and Nikos into a doorway. And let me just look something up here. Greater restoration.
Goats. You're gonna need a goat for this.
You know, I'm like so worried in part because I'm like, what happens if I get transformed back into a human?
Yeah. That
Greater restoration.
That could be a thing.
Oh,
Yeah, how great is this restoration?
it's a
Yeah,
so
I mean,
we looked it up last time, and it specifically only works on the one
Oh, whoops.
thing that they're
There we go.
targeting.
I was trying to pull up Describe to get a cool description of. They have like cool spell descriptions. If you've never seen Describe.com, I just realized I canceled my subscription like a few weeks ago. So anyway, so yeah, so it says you imbue a creature with you touch with positive energy to undo a debilitating effect. You can reduce the target's exhaustion level by 1 or end one of the following effects on a target, including the indefinite madness. It's not listed here, but it is stated under the indefinite madness section. Which
Or be
you are
cursed.
suffering
I mean, if you-
from. So, he gathers the necessary spell components, including some diamond dust. You actually see him sprinkle this shimmering stuff into a dish, and yeah, he kind of stirs it up and says, "Please sit," and motions for Nikos and Fizwick to sit on a bench. The two other acolytes come in, priests come in, and they each place a hand on your shoulder, and they begin to chant together in unison. And the head priest sprinkles some of this onto each of you, onto each of your heads as they chant. And you kind of feel this warmth, Nikos and Fizwick, as the chanting kind of carries you away. And after a time, you find yourself feeling like you've been sitting here for a long time. And you open your eyes, and you're alone in this room. Both of you.
Give me another hit of that diamond dust.
wait, so are we alone together, or are we both alone?
You're alone together, yes.
Michael? Michael?
I don't know who this Michael is, but yes.
So many names in my head. Christopher? Alan? Jonathan?
Christopher?
Yes, Fizwick, I'm here. Ugh. Whew. It feels like there's a big weight that has been lifted off my shoulders.
And Grukvar, he says, "Oh, it sounds like they're ready for us." And he pulls a curtain aside and motions for Nikos and Fizwick to step out. "Please, come on out
I
whenever you are
thought
ready."
we were in another dimension. I just totally played that role. I thought we just both got transported somewhere else.
I thought it seemed totally natural that the first thing you wanted was more of the diamond dust.
You know what? The way this is set up, I'm kind of waiting for us to walk through the doors, and then Nate's gone like, Fizwick's in Nikos' body, and Nikos is in Fizwick's body, like Freaky Friday style. Like, ah ha ha ha!
That would be
Actually
amazing.
been melded together. You're the same person now.
What? No.
Oh man, I love it.
You're
Okay,
Fizwick from the waist down.
so
Baby legs.
So, what do you say? You feeling right as rain? You feeling better?
Got an A to the penny.
What was that? What, Fizzy, what was that about your peenie?
I assure you,
Teeny-weeny
the
goblin
spell
thingy.
cannot have that effect. Many people have tried to use our magic for that excuse, but no, it is not valid.
That's the upwards limit on the Greater Restoration. Okay.
All right.
Well,
how are you feeling,
well-
Nikos?
Well, I still feel like I'm an Uber taxi with like an extra passenger, but or whatever the fantasy equivalent of that is. But other than that, I feel pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, and you do find the effect of the desiring the liquor. You look at your barrel of wine that is now sitting by the door. You just,
Ugh,
yeah, not appealing.
repulsive.
Fizwick,
Excellent.
you can't even remember really having an imaginary friend of any kind. It's maybe a distant memory, like one of those dreams that you're like, I don't quite remember. I remember it felt warm, but I don't remember what the dream was. You guys head out to the out the doors of the temple here, and the priest walks out with you and he says, "Thank you for stopping by, and we look forward to the work that will be done for the temple here. May it beautify this space and cause the our Lord Lathander to shine even more brightly in this community."
Nikos will bow.
I'll do the same.
All right. Do you guys want to head back to the Northlook Tavern? Do you want to head back to the Shrine of Ula? Other?
I'm going to check on the Duergar at the Shrine of Ula, and I'll meet you at the North Look when I'm finished there.
Okay.
Very well. Probably best to also give, the temple a heads up that they'll be doing some work for Lathander.
I imagine that messenger has already resolved that, but I'll see what they have in store for me to do when the time comes.
Okay.
Right. I will also look at procuring, because we still have to travel to the docks, don't we?
Yes, and that will be quite a journey, probably, at least a full day, if not more.
Cool. So I'm not going to take Peppermint and the owlbears on this journey, mostly because once we get to the whale, we're going to have to leave them on the dock, I imagine. So I don't just want to kind of leave them unattended. So before that, I'm going to go and try and procure like a sled dog or something, like just passage with a driver, not buy our own stuff.
So Vellynne actually has 2 sleds, and you guys used them, so I think she pretty much has transportation covered.
Oh, is she? But is she coming with us though?
That was her plan, but yeah.
I mean,
it's up to you.
I mean, yeah. I mean, same initial problem is like, if we take her dogs, then we're gonna have to just leave them in the snow, which I don't want to do because I love doggies. I want the doggies to be safe and happy. So, yeah, no, I will go barter a ride. No offense to her or anything, just that way we're good. Yeah.
Okay. I think we had figured out a cost for sled rental at one point. Let me see if I can remember how much that was. Just for like a ride. I think we'll probably go with this journey, probably about 10 gold pieces for, we'll say, 10 gold pieces for passage to pulling up the map here. There we go. There's the big one. It is passage from basically Bremen might be one way to go, because Vellynne could take you guys with her sleds to Bremen, and then from there you could rent sleds to go to the Sea of Moving Ice. So probably about 10 gold pieces. Is that agreeable to the rest of the group?
I'll throw in on that.
Yeah. Okay. And is everyone in agreement about the Axebeaks and Owlbears staying in Bryn Shander?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Because we could also let the temple caretake for them as well, and because we trust them, they've been good to us this whole time as well. Yeah. Okay. So we'll head to Bremen, and then we will. Yeah. Head to Bremen, and then we'll rent a driver.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good. All right. Anything else you guys would like to do here? So, it is still probably about midday. Also, you guys check Ryan's message in the Zoom chat, too, and see if there's anything you want to do there. But, so you could do a little shopping, or you could just say, let's just fast forward to the next morning when we meet Vellynne outside the city.
If we have the time, I'll just use the afternoon to try and get those broadsheets printed. But we don't have to deal with the details of that right now. It's not necessary. Just to lay that out as something that's being worked on.
Yeah.
Just got an MLM going or something. You want to?
Yeah.
What?
Now it's time to make some real money.
Give me the gist of the of the message that you want to have on those.
Yeah, it's just, first of all, it's got kind of a 3-part thing going in my mind. It's like the first part is just laying out our party and what we've done to kind of lay claim to those, positive things that the Icewind Dalians would respect. Then associating the Duergar that are in town with me, and also that they have that, if they've taken a pledge to be part of my clan, then they're, not at a risk. And to say, don't act out in violence against them, because that would just tempt them to turn from their new recent kind of new path. And then I also would want to get this signed off on by the Battlehammer clan, so that local dwarves have backed this up. So get some kind of seal from them on there. If I could stop by and talk to them.
Yep.
Something along those lines.
Okay. Battlehammer clan. Yeah, I imagine that you could probably get a message to the Battlehammer clan. There's probably some members of the clan here in the town.
That's what I
could
thought.
Deliver a message.
I meant specifically the dwarves that we know because we helped them recover their ingots. Is that the Battlehammer clan?
It is. Yep.
Okay.
It is. So, so I imagine you could get a message to their leadership because there might not be any members of their leadership here. And then maybe just instruct Anasia to help out with the printing of these once that approval is given.
I've used the night before. I've used my fabricate spell to turn a chunk of wood into a plate with this information on it. So I can just hand that off. But for the actual cost of printing, that's what I would need to cover.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. So let's see. Yeah. Okay, I took notes on that. So we'll see kind of what effect those flyers or whatever have here in the town.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah.
I'll make a little drawing of it to present next time.
Nice. That's awesome.
Note about that.
Cool. So, the question is, do you guys want to try to, and just so the viewers know, discussion we're having in the chat is, do we want to try to stealth Greater Restoration Clay or no? So, which way are you guys leaning on that?
I think now that I know that Ryan is interested in that, because I was kind of speaking out of turn by just in character saying we're going to sneak healing to him without actually checking with him,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, player wise, I definitely want everyone to be healed up and stuff like that. But I mean, character wise, Nikos kind of knows how Clay can get. Clay is a very my way or the highway type deal individual. There's been so many different times where Clay's thrown barbs at Nikos in regards to receiving any kind of help. So while player Michael definitely wants to see Clay healed and stuff like that, I don't see any way that Nikos would. But the Greater Restoration only really comes from the priest though.
The whole
so
reason
what
that
we need to do
Clay
is
is
convince the priest.
Yeah, the whole reason that Clay is refusing healing is because he doesn't think there's anything wrong with him, and that's because of his curse.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it makes sense why you wouldn't want healing. That makes sense to me. Maybe Nikos can cook up a really savvy lie to convince you to allow a priest to go through this procedure at some point. But there's also an aspect too, and I'm kind of the opposite of Nikos / Michael in a way, because I'm not so worried about you getting healed myself, but Grukvar would want you to be, right? But there's also a flip side of this too, where there's a real advantage to.
Geez, thanks, Alex.
No,
yeah, Alex could give two craps about you.
No, I meant about your character.
Like Clay, okay?
Ryan, now I'm getting my fuses. I'm getting my fuses crossed here. Ryan, I really want you to be the best you can be. I want you to be healthy and strong and free. But I don't care about Clay at all. No, but there's an advantage to Clay being this brash, boisterous version of himself. I mean, you might throw out some more damage that way. You're always quick to fight. This could work in our advantage on some level, maybe.
Yeah.
Because when you were just like more level-headed and very honorable, you sometimes wouldn't fight or wouldn't hurt people.
Yeah, but keeping in mind, even when he was before the curse, Clay at least has been very smack the hand away that helps. Even when hey, quick, get on, we'll ride together. No, I don't ride with you. Hey, we need to go do this. No, I'm going this way. Clay's always had that as a characteristic. So Nikos actually doesn't necessarily perceive that there is something wrong. And in that way, I don't think his particular curse would hinder him fighting. You know what I mean? It's not because my biggest worry was that he got a curse that said he doesn't want to get healed anymore. That's a huge one. That's part
of it.
What do you mean you never want to be healed? Holy crap! That's.
I mean, I would definitely want to be healed if I was injured, but for me right now to admit that there's something wrong with me, that's exactly what the curse is designed to do. Is make me think that I'm invincible, that I'm awesome, that I'm
the best.
Yeah, I'm the best at everything.
Nothing's gonna get. All right.
Well, here's one thing you guys could do. I mean, if one option would be to sneak healing a greater restoration while Clay is sleeping tonight, since you're leaving in the morning.
Good way to
that is one option.
Chopped off.
But it is one of those things that's but I also want to, I guess, even if Clay doesn't want to be healed and won't admit it, I also value what Ryan thinks. And so if Ryan thinks hey, it could probably, I wouldn't admit it, but sneak heals. So I think Ryan should make the call.
I like the idea of the after hours thing, because I could definitely see Nikos just being frustrated in the middle of the night and then going to the priest and just saying, get him in the middle of the night because I can't have you be a liability. And because the priest kind of took one look and kind of knew straight away that there was something wrong with Fizwick and Nikos specifically, there's nothing wrong with him having a look, you know what I mean? And honestly, I was trying to bargain for free healing because we'd managed to help them with the zealots, but he kind of weaseled his way into another deal, and Nikos saw that. Nikos saw that he kind of shimmied away the value of what we'd done. So yeah, if is this something we want to retcon or something we want to add on? Because if we look at a retcon, then before we would have left the temple, I would have probably made the arrangements kind of behind the door, kind of to secretly give.
I'll say
the
there's
address.
probably some good storytelling opportunity if you do it sort of secretly during the night.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, like Clay kills the Hierophant of the Lathander Church.
Still not healed. One more dead priest.
Yep.
So if I'm reading the room right, then we're leaning towards trying to sneak a priest over to perform a greater restoration spell while he's sleeping.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Okay. I love it.
Sounds like a nightmare. wake up and there's a priest hovering over your bed.
Sprinkling diamond dust on you.
All right, so you guys feel free to tell me if you do want to do any more shopping, and you can always do that after this session too. If you just want to message me and say like, hey, I thought about it, and I probably would have bought such and such in Bryn Shander. That's fine too if you don't want to think about it right now.
Okay.
But is there anything else you guys do want to do before night time?
I'm good.
Okay, so
Fizwick heard all this, right? Or were we talking amongst?
we were talking. You guys were not talking in character, and we can just maybe say that. Yeah, what did Fizwick want to add to the situation?
Nothing. He just seeing if he heard this.
Yeah, I think it was more of an out of character talk in this case.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Nikos would definitely ask the priest to sneak heal Clay behind the scenes. Like he would not say this in front of the others because he's very he stands by everything he said to Grogfar. Like Clay needs to lie in the bed that he makes for himself. But at the same time, just in case.
So, so the priest says, okay, so about middle of the night sort of thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably stick to maybe 2-3 a.m. That might be the most appropriate time. I will be there and present as well. In case things get out of hand, I will be able to offer some measure of assistance. Just so that your safety is assured.
All right. Yes, of course. We'll do what we can here. I'll bring an assistant, and we'll add that to the bill, so to speak.
When the Greater Restoration spell kick, is there memory? Like, do we remember all of this? Like, do we remember everything that's happened?
The way I kind of played it with Fizwick, at least, is it's kind of like a dream. But I'll let you sort of decide if. I imagine that your memory of like the curse itself would probably be a little fuzzy at the very least. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really remember feeling that way, but you probably would remember some of the events.
Okay.
That transpired. Like, I think you would probably remember defeating the Chardalyn dragon, things like that.
By myself.
All by my... That's weird. I seem to remember it was all by myself. Somewhere in my memory. All right. So, let's fast forward to the nighttime. Okay. Message received there, Fizwick. All right. So, the night goes fairly uninterrupted until a time when, Nikos, you do hear a little rap at the door, and just very, very gently, and you answer it, and it is indeed the priest who you spoke with earlier. He has an assistant with him. They are both looking quite nervous, scared, and but they do enter at your invitation. All right, where is he?
I will lead them through into where he happens to be. You mentioned before, Grogvar's apartment is at the back of like the forges themselves, which are hot, and you can hear the bellows and things like that. And we were sharing a room initially, like with all of us kind of in the area. Is that still the case, or do we have our own? I guess this is more of a question for Grogvar as for describing his domicile.
Yeah, I'll let Grogvar chime in here, but I imagine it's like just a room kind of in the forge area, and it's probably just got some bedrolls on the ground.
Yeah, and last time I had us basically all lined up, sleeping up close as we could to the forge to kind of like capture that residual heat, at night after the forge has been left to linger. Yeah, so we're all kind of crowded in there on bedrolls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, they walk over, follow you to the room. Gruckvar and Fizwick, are you guys awake as well?
No, I'm not. I'm sleeping.
Okay. Fizwick, what about you?
Yeah, Fizwick is awake. He's been milling about, practicing his art,
Mm-hmm.
twirling,
Yeah.
flipping, spinning.
Cool. I'm gonna look at Fizwick just as we kind of enter, and as we do so, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna cut him out a square of seal blubber, and I'm gonna hold it like a dog treat. I'm gonna like try and catch his eye.
Fizwick's standing on one hand upside down, and he flips upside down, back on his feet.
Sets the whole thing on fire.
And then I'll flick in this cube of salted seal fat. And then I'll have the priest go in and go for Clay.
And you see Fizwick kind of devour the meat, and he looks up at everybody, including the priests, and gives everybody a wink.
Individually, wink, wink, wink.
And the priests look, they look very nervously at you, Fizwick, and you can see them. The lead priest is shaking a little bit, and he says, "We have come here to do the work of our Lord, Lathander, and we trust that he will protect us in all we do." And he lifts up the little bowl and mixes in some components, puts his hands on Clay, and
He does that, or right before he does that, Clay wakes and he says, "Be careful what you do next, priest."
the priest
You just wake up, just like, yeah.
No, I mean,
I-
I don't move. I just, I know something's up.
You better do what he says, priest.
I will be very careful. And he starts to chant a little bit. And he removes one hand from one of your shoulders and only touches your other shoulder very, very lightly.
It's the tip of my nose.
Yeah. And chants nervously. And now the other priest seems to be just kind of tossing a little bit of this sprinkle, just kind of like that. Not near your head or anything like that. Probably like on your legs or something. Just like just singing a lullaby.
As they do it, it annoys me that they didn't stop. So I sort of aggressively start to roll over and take action as the spell sort of settled in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to, as he moves, like the instant he moves, I'm going to cast Compulsion on him.
Okay.
That'll require a Wisdom save.
All right, go ahead and make that wisdom save.
And
No. You are now compelled to move in the direction that I tell you to, and I tell you to sit still. And as Nico says this, there's almost like a chill that resonates from the back of his throat as he says so. And you are, just compelled to move in that direction. Though you cannot move in a deadly, hazardous, or dangerous position or provoke attacks of opportunity. So, just trying to keep you as still as possible for the priests and the ritual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he continues a little bit of chanting.
how long does this take?
Well, I've got this for a minute.
No, how long does the Greater Restoration take?
It was pretty much done anyway, but it's an extra safeguard.
Oh, it
I would
would've-
say
It would have settled in probably in my, like the two of you, I would have calmed down probably before I had even had a chance to sit all the way up.
the casting time is one action, so it's really, it's like, less than 10 seconds.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but
So-
again, I've seen Clay turn around and cleave people in half, so I'm not taking chances.
Yeah.
So
That's
once you tell me to sit, if you don't give me any other instruction, I'm free to move, right?
Let's see. Text messages, you can use bonus section. You should designate the direction. You can pretty much do anything, so long as you're lying down.
Or sitting down.
Lying down. So you were asleep beforehand, or you were lying down beforehand. I'm just telling you to continue
Right.
lying down.
Be that way. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm preventing you from standing up, sitting up, or basically doing anything that might startle, alert, or otherwise attack the priest. Because again, I've got no idea what you'll do.
So the spell is kicked in then, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I just sit and stare at the ceiling for a little while, and sort of bring my hands up to my face and cover my face, and just let whatever memories I have of the past, whatever it's been, week or 2 weeks or whatever, sink in anew with the realization that I did so many things or said so many things that were not in character at all. And just say to Nikos, you could let me up. I don't know how you do that, but
Well, I'm going to pause the effect, as in I'm going to give him the freedom to do what he wants, but I want to keep the spell in effect until the priest leaves. Again, just in case. I don't want to control Clay or anything like that, but
so
I definitely don't want him to. Yeah.
I just slowly sit up and sort of swing my legs over the edge of the bed, and I just take a deep breath, and I stand up, and I put one hand on the priest's shoulder, and I sort of tip my head towards him, and he just quietly say, "Thank you." And then I just walk out the door. And as I do, whoever's watching me walk out the door can see my hand sort of reach into my robe. But that's really all that you see. Or not my robe, but like my coat towards my belt. And then I just sort of walk out the door and start walking down the street.
Mm-hmm. And Grukvar, you are awakened at the sound of this, and the priests kind of step back, and one of them walks over to you, Fizwick, and says,
I believe you have something that belongs to me.
says, I'm sure your desire was for the best, but we had to do it. I hope
I
you'll
sure
understand.
hope you're gonna like your children's teeth around my neck.
Whoa.
He steps back and says, yes, that will not be necessary.
You messed with the wrong goblin. You get to undo it.
May Lathander bless you, child. And they walk out. And that is where we will end this session.
What just happened?
Fizwick was up to a little scheme there. So anyway, we'll see more of that perhaps next time. I think that's a good place to end it. I could easily go from
You can't leave that one hanging.
Woo! All right. Hey, thank you everyone for joining us. We appreciate you being here with us, enjoying some D&D, and just engaging in the fun of the story. Make sure you check out our sponsor, Hero Forge. Thanks again to Hero Forge, heroforge.com for awesomeness. And
Go there now.
yeah, Michael, you got anything coming up on Dead Aussie Gamer we should know about?
Lots of stuff. So let's see. I am doing a Hero Forge Legendary, which is a series where I build a Hero Forge mini with the audience. Last week we came up with, let me see if I can say this right, a haunted tabaxi who was also a glam rock bard. It was very colorful and has a crop top. I have no idea what it's going to look like when we print it, but it is definitely the most blinding character I've ever made. But yeah, we're going to make a bunch of those. So that'll be tomorrow, whatever time it is now, minus 3 hours, and that's when it'll be on tomorrow. And we've actually got a new lineup of a couple of shows actually. So on tonight we'll have D&D Curse of Strahd, and then Friday, which is in 3 days for whoever is counting. We are actually going to be doing session 0 of a new game of Pathfinder 2nd Edition, where we are going to be playing in a like an Oriental themed fantasy world, kind of like a martial art tournament. Mortal Kombat meets kind of like Highlander, The Quest, if you are a very old Van Damme fan, those kind of games. Yeah, we're going to be doing session 0 for that, so that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, that's cool. And that's all on Twitch?
That'll be all on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/DeadAussieGamer. Or you can go check out all my VODs at Dead Aussie Gamer Live, where it's not really a big channel, it's just where my live plays live. So if you ever want to watch any of them, they're all just there.
Yeah, nice. Very good. So links to that stuff down in the video description. Sounds fun. Make sure you check out Darksea Workshop as well, and go buy some awesome dice and support my man Will here. And yeah, hope everyone has a good one. We're going to be playing again. The plan is to get back to our 2-week schedule now and play again on the 23rd of August. So we hope to see you then. Also, just a reminder, if you want to get access to campaign diaries as well as weekly live map drawing streams, then go over to patreon.com/WASD20 and throw some support down. So yeah, all right, that's it for this one, everybody. Take care. You'll see us again next time.